So let's start. Today we will discuss about migration. What is migration? You can see what is written on the board. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes. What is migration?
Sir, change of residence.
Change of residence. But change of residence happens in travel also and tourism also.
Yes, sir. For
So what is the difference between travel and migration?
Sir, a permanent change in the residence.
It is not necessary to have permanent.
Not permanent, sir, but for a fixed period of time, like 3 months, 6 months, 1 year.
It can be yes, for a substantial period of time. And what is more important is intention. What was your intention when you were migrating, when you were taking the shift? What were your in migration? Your intention was to shift the residence permanently or semi-permanent. Permanent or semi-permanent. Change of residence. It is not travel. It's not travel. It's not travel. It's not only travel. It's not only tourism. It is change of residence. And what is important is what differentiates is that what was your intention at the time of taking your journey? Yes.
Sir,
Yes. Yes, Firdaus.
boundary and time should be in migration, sir, defining factors.
Yes, boundary and time is also defining factors, but most important defining factor is your intention when you were undertaking the journey. When you were shifting, what was your intention? What your intention was tourism, then you are a tourist. If your intention is only um, temporary work, then you are a worker, a business traveler. And when you intend to shift your residence, maybe it is not permanent, maybe you had gone to the place and you decided after 1 month or after some time you decide to return, then also it will be migration. Maybe temporary migration, but it was migration because your intention was to change your place of residence. Change the place of residence is very, very important. So, why people migrate? And yes, you were saying about boundary base, but that is important in international migration. The kind of migration is international migration. Then boundary, the national boundary is important. Internal migration also happens. Internal migration also happens. And there is one term, there are two terms, immigration and emigration. What is the difference between these two terms? Can you tell me? Yes, you can see the board. Yes. What is the difference between immigration and emigration? Yes.
सर, इमिग्रेशन जो होता है वो कंट्री टू कंट्री होता है. एमिग्रेशन जो होता है वो कंट्री टू मतलब अदर कंट्री होता है सर. ये होता है इमिग्रेशन एमिग्रेशन.
No. It's not so. That's why I asked. Immigration.
इमिग्रेशन में
Yes.
इमाइग्रेशन में जो मतलब जो पर्सन है जिस शहर में जाता है तो उस शहर को होता मतलब इमाइग्रेशन. ई माइग्रेट जिस शहर को छोड़कर आया तो वहाँ पे होगा ई माइग्रेशन.
First I will tell you that it is about international migration. Immigration and emigration happens, both happen when you cross the national boundary. It is about international migration. Both terms are considered in international migration. Immigration is going, coming, coming into the country. If coming into the country, crossing the national boundary. Suppose someone is migrating from Europe to India, then it is immigration. And immigration is going outside, migrating outside the country. Migrating outside the country. Migrating outside the country. Both terms concerned with international migration. Okay. Am I clear? ये बात समझ में आ गई या नहीं?
Yes, sir.
So there are two terms, okay? So our question remains, why people migrate? People migrate from very ancient times. Migration is not a new phenomenon. Why people migrate? Someone said, yes, yes, Ubaid?
There push and pull factors there, that's why they are moving.
Yes, push and pull factors are there. But what are
there better opportunities?
We will discuss push and pull factors when we will discuss the theory of push and pull migration. There are many theories of migration. But why? What are the reasons of migration?
For better opportunities, facilities.
Better opportunities, yes. Better opportunities of business, job, education. If someone sent me a message, perhaps yes, sent me a message that it is opportunities, okay, because of and any other reason, yes, any other reason.
An opportunity of better and modern infrastructure and life.
Yes, to avail the facilities, better infrastructure, to avail the better infrastructure.
Better environment, sir. Sometimes better environment also matters.
Political reasons, yes. Better political
reasons.
Yes. Sometimes people migrate because
of endowment of resources, sir.
Yes, resources. Yes. To avail better resources. To go to a place which in their migrants' perception is better endowed in resources. Many types of resources, yes.
And technological development we also there inside.
Technological development, yes. Sometimes your education compels you to migrate semi-permanently, temporarily, semi-permanently, 2, 3, 5 years. And sometimes the people who are going for education settle there. They become permanent migrants. Sometimes it happens over time. So, and any other reason you can tell me? Yes, any other reason? Calamities, climate. Maybe people don't like the climate where they are living. Yes, climate and climate may be one of the reasons. Disaster, tsunami, drought.
Civil war.
Yes, civil war. Cool. Persecution of a particular group. Sometimes persecution of a group or individual may be the reason. Persecution may be the reason. Yes. And any other reason? Yes, any other reason?
Discrimination.
Yes, discrimination, of course. Maybe discrimination. Sometimes only liking. Sometimes you like a particular place. Liking, preference, liking of a particular place. Suppose आपको कोई एक जगह बहुत अच्छी लगती है, then you may migrate to that place, isn't it? Some people migrate. Some people migrate because of uh, their job. Sometimes people migrate because of their liking. Sometimes people migrate because of their political beliefs. Voluntary and migration can be voluntary and involuntary, both. Migration can be voluntary and involuntary. Involuntary, voluntary. We were discussing about voluntary migrations. Sometimes people are forced to migrate because of persecution, because of natural calamity, because of some disaster, because of quake, because of some cyclone. People are forced to migrate. Hmm? Sometimes epidemic force them to migrate. Sometimes epidemic, sometimes disease, overpopulation.
The poverty and hunger we.
Yes, poverty.
The poverty and hunger we also.
Poverty and hunger. Yes. Unemployment. Yes, poverty and hunger, unemployment. Sometimes people are return migrant. People have migrated to some country, and after a while, sometimes it may be the end of their job, or layoffs. They return to their host country. They remigrate. They are called return migrants. They are called return migrants. And sometimes they return migrated, and after some time they they find that it was not a good decision to return. So though they again go to that country. This is called circular migration. Circular migration. They migrate to one country. After some time, they return migrate to their own country, host country, and
marriage आ सकता है क्या sir migration?
Yes, of course. Marriage is also a cause of migration, especially in India. Yes. In female migration, marriage is a very important factor. Yes. Marriage can be a factor. Yes, of course. Yes, marriage. In the case of females in India, marriage is a big factor. Yes. And any other? Yes.
Low income also be the factor to migrate
low
from.
income. Yes. People believe that they will get a better income in the country of their destination. Yes, low income. Yes, income level. Yes. Income level may be a valid cause for migration. Yes. Desire to get rich, isn't it?
Sir.
Many people migrate to Bombay and Calcutta. They say that these are land of opportunities. So we will be and to pursue a particular career. Many people migrate to Bombay to try their luck in film industry. And you can go to
so rural to urban migration.
Yes, rural to urban migrant. Yes, India. In India, rural to urban migration is very important. But in Europe and in India also, there is the counter urbanization. People return to villages for clean environment, for less pollution, for less congestion.
Sir, can religious be also a factor for migration, sir?
Yes.
Religious, sir.
Yes, maybe. Yes. Religious factor can also be. Religion can also be a factor.
Custom भी होता है, custom.
Yes, of course. Yes, custom. If you are feeling uncomfortable in one place of residence, you may want to go to another.
Race, caste and races.
Yes. And but migrants, what there are some legal migrants, and there is a legal aspect to it. There are some legal aspects and illegal aspects also. And but what migration do to society? Migration changes society, doesn't it? Migration changes society. Sometimes migrants are called refugees. They are also migrants, but they are food migrants. Sometimes migrants, rather, always they change societies, isn't it? They reshape the society. They they change the layout of the city or settlement. Actually, they add a definitive layer to the city where they migrate, or to settlement where they migrate. If you search in Aligarh, you will find that there is a particular segment of the city, the particular area of the city where migrants live. And if you go to London, there is a particular area where you will find many migrants, many Asian migrants, and that place looks like that it is a mini India. So migrants change the society, but there is a problem. We have discussed a little sometime that people actually migrants change the peopling of India, or peopling of any country or any region where they migrate, and sometimes they forcefully migrate, like Jews migrated to purposefully and forcefully, political reasons. Jews from all over the world migrated to Israel. And that uh, then it was Palestine, wasn't it? Sometimes there are many other reasons. Um, there were many. There was a massive migration took place when the partition of India was there, and massive migration took place when the Bangladesh got created. Massive migration to India. It was a massive, one of the most massive migration in the human history. And mainly the modern man evolved in Africa, and then they migrated to other. And in the beginning, we all were migrants, isn't it? We all were rowing people. We don't tend to settle. So and there are some obstacles to migration also. What are the main obstacles to migration? क्या रोकता है आपको माइग्रेट करने से? What are the main obstacles to return? Yes. Family, culture, national boundaries.
Yeah, national boundaries. Born place.
What? What you're saying? Yes.
The feeling of belonging.
Yes. Belongingness. Suppose lack of belongingness is in the host country, they when they try to migrate.
Economic factor.
Yes, economies. Yes, in the obstacle area, populated countries don't want people to migrate to their country, and if they want, they allow the highly skilled ones, isn't it? And some countries encourage migrations, like Canada and Australia encourages in migration because why?
Aging.
No, no,
So their population is very low.
they have low population. They don't have optimum
Their
population.
population is low. Yes, sir.
Yes, yes, they want workers. Arab countries encourage temporary migration because they need workers. And those migrants are called expatriates. In Gulf, huge number of expatriates. So some people, some countries encourage migration, and some countries discourage migration.